Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I saw this tweet about the growth or growing the WNBA, talking about the Olympic team, and of course, taking the angle of it's not the fault of the product, it's our fault. It's the media's fault, and we're going to emote about it. So here's a tweet from Grant Williams. If we really want to move the W game forward, it's not just up to fans, it's also the coverage they receive. Being behind the scenes here at Olympics, the difference between men's versus women's post game is disrespectful, and the women deserve better internationally and domestically. There's so much to pick apart here. First of all, did you notice it's straight up emoting and trying to shame you and shame media to cover it better by saying it's disrespectful not to? Because they are women, you owe it to them to cover them the way the men are covered and to support them as fans the way the men are supported. It is a ridiculously stupid argument that is done with everything nowadays. It is nonsensical, it is pure emotion, and it is manipulation and nothing else. Look, this goes back. I don't want to get into the weeds too much, but just as an overview, this goes back to what's happened for a number of years. But let's talk about last year with Disney and what they had, like 8 complete bombs at the box office. I think it was like something like sorry, not a million, geez, $1 billion that Disney lost on 8 or 9 movies they released last year that were all garbage movies. And what was the playbook with all of them? It was shaming, insulting, and blaming the fans for rejecting those movies and not going to watch them. It wasn't we need to create a better product and create a better and make a better movie. It was we're going to make whatever and you must support it. Otherwise, you are this ist or this ism or that phobe, and you're a terrible human being. And that's what we're seeing in this tweet with the same thing. And what Grant doesn't understand is this has nothing to do with women. People watch coverage and games and events and everything else for players and athletes that they care about, that they root for, that is a good enough product that they get value for their time and money spent. And by increasing the coverage of the Olympics for the women's Team USA basketball team, which is what he's talking about, that won't change anything in terms of people caring about it. No one cares. And let's face it, this is what Team USA said they wanted from us. When that team was announced and people gave pushback about Caitlin Clark deserving to be on the team as a player, and yes, there were also those like Stephen A. Smith who said, you've got to put her on the team just for the marketing aspect. We were told, no, no, no. The priority was 100% about winning gold. The Olympics are not about growing the game. We don't care about growing the game. Of course, we also know if the priority was winning, the team would look different. We all know there are multiple players like Chelsea Gray and Diana Taurasi that would not be on the team. Now, lucky for the U.S., like it has been on the women's side in soccer for a long time, because the rest of the world has really just started playing the game, we are so far ahead that we could send the B, maybe even C team to the Olympics and still win gold. However, what you're not getting out of it is anyone caring. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And we'll get that in a moment here. But first, speaking of the players that were sent over and not being covered, let's look at Diana Taurasi. The U.S. just beat Australia today. So they're going to the gold medal match. We all knew that was going to happen. I don't know if you can see this or not. It won't let me expand it. But Diana Taurasi actually did come off the bench. She played a whopping 6 minutes. She scored 0 points. So I believe she has 1 point in the last 4 games. But we were told this is the best team going. This is the best team. Chelsea Gray did start 19 minutes, and she scored 5 points. So good for her. That's a big improvement. Um, I think if you take away the assists from the first game against Japan, Chelsea Gray's averaging like 2 or 3 assists a game as the only point guard. But nobody cares to watch this team. And Grant, you're not going to shame people. It's not disrespectful for them not wanting to watch. No one's covering it because nobody cares about the coverage. It costs money for the media and the networks, whomever you're expecting to cover. It costs money for them to cover it live and for them to have people there and journalists there and reporters there to ask questions. It costs them money to do so, and they feel they're not getting a return on that because nobody cares to watch. Now, look, let's go back. Let's see if I can find the right one. Okay, I think this is it. Um, this is about Sunday's game, all the way back to Sunday, with this whole thing about the breakdown of all the different things in the in terms of ratings. And here it talks about certain things. The U.S. women's basketball team game against Germany, not immediately available. By the way, still not available. Why don't we have the ratings for the game last Sunday against Germany? How do we not have that? I mean, look, that was Sunday. Here, Tuesday. Tuesday, we have the U.S. German women's soccer semifinal. We have those ratings. They averaged 3.1 million before the primetime window began. But we still don't have from 2 days earlier, from Sunday, we still don't have the women's basketball ratings. I wonder why not. It doesn't make any sense. Can't find the ratings. But look, Team USA got what it wanted. Their petty jealousy, their insecurity, their ego, probably a little bit of tan level bias in there as well. And this is the result. No one cares, so no one's covering it, Grant. And it's not disrespectful. That's the way it is. As I saw someone in one of the comments said, it's a great example. Where's the big coverage for, say, synchronized swimming? This is what you get. The WNBA is not an established, profitable league. Women's basketball just isn't that right now. It's still very, very heavily CC dependent. And it's like the UFC at times when you go further back, it's more established now, but they were pretty dependent on huge names and certain fighters that would fight and headline the pay-per-views because they would bring in way more paying customers than other fighters would. Now, the difference is the UFC has gotten viable outside of that, but it is also what initially happened when they brought in a women's division that was completely dependent on Ronda Rousey, which is why Ronda Rousey got paid so much money because when Ronda Rousey was fighting on a card, when she was, the headlining event or at least the main event on the card, people would pay and they would watch her. And they wouldn't necessarily do that with other female fighters. It's gotten to that point now where it's much better. And so it's not a man woman thing. This is different. It's about the sports. Again, it goes back to the entertainment value, right? Where's curling outside of the Olympics in terms of people being even aware of it? Synchronized swimming. I mean, we could go on and on. There are a lot of sports outside of the major ones that get all the coverage, but people don't pay attention to them except maybe outside of the Olympics and some other events here and there. So, Grant, people don't have to cover, they don't have to watch the WNBA simply because you want them to, because you want to make it a male female issue. And it's not that they are women. I mean, women's tennis. I can't even remember now where the women did not get paid what the men do at the Grand Slam events, the four majors. In fact, they really get paid more because they get the same amount of prize money, but they play best of three and the men play best of five. So they actually get paid more. Um, I love watching college softball, the College Softball World Series. Fantastic. I would watch a pro league of that. That's actually more entertaining than the WNBA is. But this type of stuff this drives me absolutely crazy. And by the way, you by saying stuff like it's disrespectful for there to be more people covering the men's game, which is more popular, than cover the women, and they somehow deserve better. They're playing a sport. A sport is entertainment. People can support it or not support it. Same thing with movies and music. They don't have to go to certain movies. They don't have to listen to certain artists or bands. It's ridiculous. And by the way, I think now you turn off more people than you bring on. In fact, if all the people who said things like you do actually truly meant it and supported whatever it is. But let's say in this case the WNBA, all those people out about how they'll talk about equal pay and how they should be supported and this and that. If all those people did the actual supporting, if they bought tickets and went to games, if they watched all the games on TV, if they bought the merchandise, all these people that you don't like that you're trying to shame and supporting, you wouldn't need them. You wouldn't need them. This is not helpful. I love this. What have been the ratings for the last several games? Yeah, they're not telling us. They are not telling us. Caitlin Clark would have got the team to stay at the finest hotels with Michelin star restaurants. Sometimes you got to keep it 100. DT got them some Coke soda bottles. They decided not to bring the face of the league onto the team. You reap what you sow. Well, that's on Team USA staff for not including the two most popular and best players in the league. I take a little issue with that for both of them, by the way. Um, they purposely chose to leave the marketing phenom off the team. Don't be surprised by the outcome. I'm sorry to say this. This is why CC and Angel Reese was necessary. There will be storyline that reporters can use, but the Women Association did not see the vision. It's almost as if there's something that they could have done to guarantee more attention and viewership for the women, but chose not to. What could it be? And there's a lot to go on like that, which was nice to see. I thought we'd get a lot of people jumping on board with this, but I mean, he's putting this out to look at this 178,000 views. Put this out to 123,000 people. I mean, we got to get off this narrative stuff like this. It's ridiculous. It's unhelpful. Put out a better product. You'll get more attention. It's really that simple. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below about this. I think this is a really important issue because, like I said, with Disney and the movies and everything, you're seeing this. This is the playbook all the time. They want to shame you into supporting something that you're just not interested in supporting, which is ridiculous. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks again for checking out this video. I really do appreciate it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you later.